So this video is inspired by Mixmaster Mike's video about the stars and bars. Not directly related to that, but that's something, man. I'm curious because there's some people out there that do not give a shit, like down here, that what you would end up finding, you'd find people literally willing to die on that hill, like taking it to the Supreme Court pretty handily, like with nothing better to do. It's an interesting situation, but it's an interesting flag too. When I was in high school, I actually had my front license plate was the Tennessee battle flag, and my mom had one. She had this 76 Celica GT when I was little, and we had it on that car too. And I remember one particular day that I had a friend that went to a different high school than me, and he asked me, he's like, Ron, actually called me Ronnie. I was called Ronnie back in school. You like a racist or something? Like, do you hate black people? I'm like, no, I don't. Why do you even ask? He's like, oh, you got that flag on your car. What exactly do you mean by that? I'm like, it made me think. It made me think a little bit, and I explained it. And I'm like, well, I'm a son of the South. I'm big on states' rights, and we had an interesting conversation regarding it. I will say, I never took that license plate off the front of that car. My truck that I drive right now, I've got Old Glory, the 50 stars and 13 stripes in the back window, an actual red, white, and blue one. Because that actually these days is unique enough, because everybody's got to have one that has a blue stripe through the middle of it, or subdued black, or whatever. And I think it's ironic to put an American flag on the back of a Japanese truck. Assembled in Texas or not. I don't go for that argument. But that's just wild that that freedom of speech, that's crazy. And I believe it's soaked in to the bones of our culture. Like, even conservative people, even down here, when you're talking to relatively conservative people and relatively reasonable people, they're like, well, not everything but hate speech. And I'm like, well, tell me exactly what hate speech is and why hate speech is exactly bad. My thought, and I'd probably be hard pressed to in our friend group to have somebody that disagrees on this, is that the people responsible for the violence are the people who commit the violence. There's a difference in inciting violence and being part of it. I don't know. I don't understand that. That whole yelling fire in a crowded movie house and then being responsible for the mayhem that comes as a result of that. I've never quite gotten that thing, like, what the throat noises that you make somehow transitions and transcends some kind of situation. Is it a part of our history that's best forgotten? Is it a bunch of BS? The people that say, well, it's heritage and not hate. I will tell you, there are some racist people that have that sticker on their vehicle, and that's fine. I don't think there should be. The way a person personally feels about a race or whatever, for whatever reason, I think is their own business. Should a person be excluded from employment based on their race, sex, or gender? No, I don't think that's fair. I think it should be a matter of meritocracy. The best person for the job, whether they happen to be polka dotted or black or white or whatever. I think it's only fair. Have there been times when it's been abused and it's due to just the person's being denied employment or benefits based on their race. Well, we're seeing that now, even today. But it's okay for certain races, but not for other races. So the American Civil Liberties Union only applies to minorities, and power only goes to minorities. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute to me. But I'm not a political science guru, and I don't understand how this crap works. I don't understand the pain of being a black person or a minority or whatever. I understand being poor. I know that sucks. I used to drive this real shitty Ford Taurus, and actually in my really old YouTube videos, I'm making some videos in it. Cops would literally follow me around town. I mean, it's a much bigger crime to be poor than it is to be a minority, I think. But so frickin' be it, I suppose. You know, back when I had this thought that the racists were going to be like the canary in the coal mines, and we knew that we were on this terrible trajectory, I never really had a plan with what to do about it, other than, you know, to be careful about which hill you die on. You know, be smart about what you do in your process. And it sucks to change, and I think these things can come full circle. There's an element of the Marxist philosophy that says just because a race or an ethnicity is a minority, then it must be good, and just because another one's a majority, it's bad. It's just a matter of shifting the power, I think, in so many cases. And I will say that people are they take advantage of that, and I would say people don't necessarily make shining examples of their race even when they're proud of it. So, you know, they're more like, I am what I am, and, you know, the shining examples of people that happen to share similar genetics to them have absolutely nothing to do with them. And I think until we recognize true meritocracy, we're not really getting anywhere. And we're not taking part in what makes America great. Because back when we faked the moon landing, it took all races to get us there. All right. That's all I got. We'll see y'all later.